continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
A blogger is facing charges that he harassed and intimidated witnesses who were interviewed about the death of a Boston police officer during a snowstorm. WBZ's Christina Hager's live in Stoughton tonight. Christina, prosecutors say that harassment included sending messages to witnesses.
This blogger is known for his confrontational style. In court today, his defense attorney said he is a news reporter protected by the First Amendment. Prosecutors said he crossed the line. Supporters of the blogger honked and demonstrated outside the courthouse in Stoughton as Aidan Kearney was led inside wearing handcuffs.
We got your back, Aidan!
On social media, Kearney goes by the name Turtleboy, and for months he's been following the case of Karen Reed, who's accused of killing a Boston police officer in 2022. Kearney insists Reed is innocent and that investigators have engaged in a cover-up.
And they will never shut me up. They will never, ever, ever stop me from reporting the truth.
Innocent until, while we got a little bit of quiet going on, man. Number one, how y'all doing? It's 2:08 in Miami, Florida. 87 degrees, man. I am currently, once again, held up at an accident because I was picking up food. And here going this dude backing out into me. Backside, I'm driving by in the parking lot, like 100% right away. He's pulling out of a parking space and doesn't see me and rocks my car, man, down the passenger side. So when I tell y'all these people in Miami can't drive, they can't drive. I literally just got my car out of the shop last week because a lady hit me in the parking lot. Anyway, man, I'm checking my notifications on Twitter, man, real quick. And a lot of you guys have been telling me about Turtleboy, man, very adamantly, man, how he was doing good work out here. I have no reason to believe that he wasn't. I can't remember specifically who all was telling me about this guy, but I remember a few of the names I won't call, and you know what I mean, because of who they are and who they've shown themselves to be. I had started to like the guy without even knowing him or, you know, or any of his content like that. And he actually popped up in my feed, and I saved the video to watch later of his, and I'm bad about saving videos to watch later and never watching them, but I'm just telling you, I did have this guy, you know what I mean, in my circumference. He was in my frame of reference. And then I seen a video or something, some kind of content where it popped up that he had got arrested for witness tampering, but I didn't pay much attention because I'm also a cop watcher. I'm watching a cop back here now who's taking our accident report. And the first thing I told him when he pulled up was, hey man, I record everything. It's nothing to nothing. Nobody's broken the law here. So I'm just letting you know I'm recording. But anyway, I know as a cop watcher, and I watch fellow auditors and cop watchers, they make up reasons to arrest anybody who's not a bootlicker, so to speak. Or you ain't got to be a bootlicker, which is the most extreme form of cop supporting. If you just don't bow to cops because they're in a uniform, then they have an issue with that because they really think when they put on those badges and those uniforms that they run the world. And I'm talking about the beat cops, the street cops, who are, by all intents and purposes, man, I don't mean any disrespect when I say this. I've said this before. I'm not into just casually disrespecting people. I just call it how it is, man. When you're talking about law enforcement, man, if you're not talking about the people who work inside of the offices, like the secretaries, be they female or male, the people who just sit there and take notes, the cops who are on the streets riding in these police cars and stuff, they are the lowest tier of law enforcement. That's just the bottom line. They are the lowest tier of law enforcement you can get. I think the next low tier is like a security guard. And I don't say that to disrespect anybody. I want to reiterate that. I say that to combat this atmosphere, this attitude they have about themselves, or that they run the earth. They do not. So once again, when I heard that Turtleboy was arrested for witness tampering, it didn't even register to me because once I've seen too many cases where these law enforcement officers make up reasons, they actually break the laws and stretch the laws to arrest people who won't bow down to them. And I've heard that about him. He's his own type of investigative journalist. And so he probably doesn't just always do what cops demand he does, which is his right to. I don't know this. I'm assuming this from my experience with law enforcement, for what I've seen of them, for what I've experienced of them, and for what I've heard of Turtleboy. Now, so I see something else on Twitter about him being arrested. Court TV posted it. And I'm like, damn, let me look more into this instead of, my looking into it, guys. I'm lazy. I'll just ask you guys about it. So I put this on Twitter. I tweeted, hey, man, I see Turtleboy's been arrested. I thought y'all told me he was one of the good guys. I don't know him either way. I'm just asking here, an inquiry. And someone posted in the comments text messages, Facebook posts. I don't know what this was, of him threatening somebody's kids. He actually posted pictures of the kids. Now, before I get deeper into this, I want to say, hey, I wasn't there. And the first question I asked in response was, are these messages legit? I create content, man, and I'm not an expert at it. It is very easy to Photoshop messages. Trust me. That is, it's like the cops in the cars or the low tier realm of police. Photoshopping messages is low tier realm of Photoshopping. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So because I see some messages, I'm not automatically assuming that they actually came from the person. But if he did send these messages, and we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't, because innocent until proven guilty, bro, what in the hell? And it just speaks to what's going on with adults in true crime and in our world, and it terrifies me because I always say this: the appropriate people are the most inappropriate people you ever want to encounter. Because even if Turtleboy didn't send these messages, a lot of adults in true crime, female and male, behave like this. The messages were pictures of people's children, and you're gonna see them on the screen, Lord. I'm gonna make sure I put this in here. And we are reiterating, we don't know if these messages are real and sent by him or not. That is yet to be proven in the court of law. I don't even know what his response to these are. When I seen him, I said, hey man, I want to talk about this, because too many adults are actually behaving like this, even if he isn't. He has pictures of someone's kids, and where the messages, I'm gonna say that, has pictures of someone's kids, and they're saying, hey, I know where you live. Can I pick your kids up and take them out? We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna bring them back to you in one piece. One of the messages said, hey, if you had to pick and choose between these two kids, because it was two of them, which one would you want to live? Or some foolishness like that. Y'all don't want me in true crime, right? This is why I don't get views, and this is why I do get good views. do get views. I'm gonna tell y'all have lost y'all damn mind, bro. Adults, y'all don't got nothing better to do. I can't even make content with all the content I gotta make, and then I gotta live my regular life, bro. And then I gotta spend an hour and a half on the side of the road because somebody done hit my car again in Miami because they can't drive. Y'all don't have nothing. Y'all wake up and go to sleep with true crime dominating your life. And that's not even a horrible part. The horrible part is how you interact in the domination. It leads you to do things like this. It leads you to talk to people like this, and you guys will consider yourselves the appropriate ones. I'm not biting my tongue. I'm not holding a damn thing back. If the shoe fits when I say you, wear it. Because a lot of y'all need to stop looking at other people and judging them, and you need to assess your own damn character and your own actions, because it is absolutely ridiculous how we're acting out here as adults. And the scariest thing about it is a lot of us are raising children. We're teaching children how to think and navigate the world. And then we look at the children and we look at the world and say, hey man, the world is crazy, what's wrong with it? It's us, Negro. What in the hell would make any, let's just say that Turtleboy didn't send these messages. What would make someone with it had to, now I can't say that, I want to say it had to be an adult, but a kid could have been involved, because the way a lot of the behavior, I be wondering if it's actually kids behind these profiles. But let's say he didn't send these messages. Hopefully I would feel better about it if it was a kid. Because if it was an adult, what would even make an adult go to these types of extremes to frame somebody? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe I'm the high-minded, appropriate person here, because I be looking at the interaction and the stuff I see, whether I'm on Facebook, whether I'm on Twitter, whether I'm on, well, I'm going to be honest, the YouTube audience over here, because I only be on my channel, is pretty mature. And I'm not saying that because it's my channel, because I don't tell you guys how to interact with each other. You do what you want to do. You say what you want to say, and I make it clear that I prefer that. YouTube is probably the safest, most mature place in true crime that I see, and I want to reiterate, it's because I only be on my channel. I can't really tell you what the other channels are like. Even when I watch their videos, I might make 1 or 2 comments and then I'm out of there. I'm not in there interacting. I'm not reading a bunch of comments. I'm not going back and forth with anybody. You will see me, if you follow me on Twitter, I don't do the arguing stuff. If I engage ignorance and nonsense, I do it and then I'm out of here. That's just me. Now, trust me, I'm far from perfect. I get into all the cliches. Nobody is. We know that, right? So I'm not implying that in the least. But I just look at the behavior, man, and I just want to say, hey, man, what in the hell is going on with y'all? Because whether he sent these messages or whether someone fabricated them to frame him, what's going on in the mind of adults, man? And we need to stop looking at this world saying, hey, oh, man, it's messed up and it's crazy out here and it's violent out here. And we need to look at how we are contributing to it, because too many of us give ourselves passes for the foolishness that we put in the air. Hey, Turtleboy, I don't know you, homie. Like I say, people were telling me about you, and just from what they were saying and the type of people that were mentioning your name, I had good vibes from you and about you. So I'm hoping above hope that this is just somebody trying to make you look bad. Maybe it's even the cops. Cops doing things, cops frame people for murder. Cops commit murder. So it's not above my intellect or my reasonable ability to believe that the cops may have even framed this. I don't know. Bro, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I hope this isn't you. And it's just for the simple reason that people, good people who I assess to be good people were telling me good things about you. So I would hate for this to be the turnaround. Because that's just a little bit too far, man. Nobody's perfect, bro. And we all just horribly mess up sometimes. So I'm hoping this isn't one of your horrible mess ups. And if it is, because that was a few messages, I hope you learn a lot from this. But if it's not you, I hope that it's inarguably shown. I hope you are inarguably exonerated. And I hope whoever may have framed you is totally exposed, because this is ridiculous. Innocent until I'm out.
His followers waving a flag to honking vehicles passing by. While inside, a prosecutor detailed the accusations laid out in hundreds of pages of court documents, reading excerpts from Kearney's blog directed to witnesses.
You guys should just stop going in public, going out in public. It's only going to get worse from here. I know where you all were today.
Kearney has staged rallies at her hearings, calling it a cover-up. But prosecutors say he went further, publicizing witnesses' private information, showing up at their homes, calling a state police trooper's wife, and saying this.
What's your scumbag husband up to now? Are you going to visit him in prison?
I will not be silenced, and I will be steadfast in keeping on with this mission to expose the real killers of John O'Keefe.
Kearney is also accused of having a civilian police dispatcher in Avon run some of those witnesses' license plates for him. That dispatcher has been placed on paid leave, and Kearney has been ordered to stay away from the witnesses involved.
One more thing. This was supposed to be the beginning of the video, but things don't always go how we plan, so. What I'm about to say will not be breaking news, man. While editing this video, man, and looking for audio clips to add, I was actually able to hear more about the accusations against Turtleboy. I want to reiterate accusations, man. I wasn't on scene. I don't know any of these things are true. But it doesn't sound outside of the realm of possibility, man. I have to say that. And saying that, I have to say my honest thought. So I just wish more people in true crime were raised in the type of environment that I was raised in. It seems like a lot of people think that simply because in their minds they're right, everybody else's rights and boundaries go out of the window. When I hear some of these accusations that you are posting people's private information online, that you are calling people's spouses, you know what I mean, and saying derogatory things, it's just like, I don't think some of the people in true crime realize that you can be hurt, man. Like, there's a proper way to handle everything. And once you even in defense of somebody that you think is innocent, overstep certain boundaries, it just takes away from the credibility of your argument. Now, I understand Turtleboy is out there, primarily in defense of Karen Reed right now. When I have posted about this very minimally, her case, I myself had some questions about it. I've heard some things, about the case that makes it questionable and her guilt questionable. But I'm not going to also pretend that the reason a lot of people are on Karen Reed's side is because she's a female. I honestly believe, based on what I've seen from Humanity and True Crime, that if it were her that would have ceased and the charges were against her husband, those very same people, probably including Turtleboy out there protesting, would be protesting against his innocence. So this the type of stuff that pissed me off. I'll reiterate, this is why I'm in true crime, to bring some balance, because there's no particular special interest demographic that deserves more compassion and more justice than another. That just doesn't, go like that. And not in real time, no matter how much it goes like that in the mind of certain, y'all people got brain injuries or something. I don't even know what the hell's going on with y'all. But I'm going to say this in the video. You're going to hear it, man, because this is a prequel to the video. I'm really hoping, bro, that these accusations against you aren't true, because if they are, then who the hell are you, bro? I wish you would, because just like I talked to the point, I wish you would call my wife and say some crazy shit like they're accusing you of saying. I wish you would be posting my children or giving them, way private information. It's very possible we may end up in litigation for me beating your, you know what I mean? Like some people in true crime just need to slow down and realize that Your feelings and your emotions don't give you the right to tread on other people's freedoms and liberties and to be out here acting like you were raised in a field by wild beasts. Like, we really gotta chill out, because that's how some of you people act. And then when like him, he's if these accusations are true, bro, it is beyond me how you're standing on those steps leading protests and stuff like you're the appropriate one. You've entered into the same realm of category of people as these police if they're falsely accusing Karen Reed and anybody else they may falsely accuse. You're as bad as them, bro. What in the hell does a woman's husband, even a man's wife, if that person is guilty of an action, why don't you address that person? You don't start addressing their spouse and their kids and their family members and stuff like that, and witnesses who are 9 times out of 10 being forced to testify by the police officer. Are you crazy, man? Let's get to the video, because I just be watching this stuff and I be like, am I the only one out here who thinks that just because I feel something, it doesn't give me the right to go out here and behave like a wild beast and to treat other people like they're not human? That's how people get hurt. That's how people get murdered. And these are very simple lessons that I learned growing up where I grew up. And it seems like some people grew up in worlds that are way too safe because they be out here doing shit that is very, very dangerous. And it doesn't occur to them until someone's planning their funeral or the funeral of someone they love over stupid circumstances that very well could have been prevented if they would have behaved like mature adults.